it's Johara again, and I forgot to make a video Tuesday. It just slipped my mind, so I'm gonna make two today. Right now I'm gonna make a this or that video. I have changed the this or that and countdown videos to the names, so it'll be easier to find what you're looking for. Okay, so this one is Scooby-Doo movie versus series. And there's a few different series, I believe. But the one I'm going to do is the only one I've really watched, the only one I really like, called Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. It only lasted 2 seasons, but I really liked it. Not as much as the movies. I prefer the movies a lot better. But the series is pretty good. I'm not too thrilled about how it ended, but I like it for the majority part. And the movies are the ones with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr., obviously. I think, yeah, the live-action movies, not the cartoon movies. Because those are my favorite. I absolutely love them. I own them on Google Play. And I watch them every so often because I really like them. I'm sure you've seen the movies, but you may not have seen the series. But, the series, they're in high school and they're solving mysteries even though their parents don't like it, and Daphne and Fred start dating, but their parents don't really like them together and try to pull them apart. At the end of the first season, Mystery Incorporated got split up, but they got back together in the second season. Which is similar to the movies, because at the beginning of the first movie, they all got into a fight and split up, but then they all came back together to solve a mystery that they were all invited to, and they eventually had to remember how to work together as a team, and they became a better team than they were at the beginning of the movie. I love Sarah Michelle Gellar as Daphne, I do. But I just like her in general. I don't really... Freddie Prinze Jr. is pretty famous, but I don't think I've ever seen anything else he's in. I never seen anything Velma was in. Shaggy, he was on the first Scream. Sarah Michelle Gellar was on the second Scream. But, I don't know which movie I like better, the first or second. I like them both a lot. They both have, I guess, my favorite parts of the movies, I like the ending of both. Usually the ending's my favorite part, because that's when, like, they defeat the bad guy or whatever, and it's just amazing. But the series... Let me see, series was pretty good, not as good as the movies, but there's a lot of differences, but I guess there are a few similarities. The only one I can think of off the top of my head, though, is what I just mentioned about them splitting up, but for different reasons. In the movie, they split up because they were all fighting, and apparently they haven't gotten along in a while. So they all just ended up blurting out things that annoy them, like Fred taking Velma's plans and making them look like it was his, and Daphne always getting caught and stuff. But they ended up working it all out at the end and became a team again. Excuse me. In the series, they split up because Fred just found out that his dad was one of the masked monsters at the end of the season, and he ended up having to go find his real parents, and he felt all alone, so he broke up with Daphne, and they were engaged, but he broke up with her, and he left, and then everyone else just split up too. Daphne started dating this really muscular guy who Fred ended up getting jealous with. Velma I don't remember what Emma was doing. I think she was just getting more into her science or whatever. Let's see. Shaggy's parents forced him to go to like a boot camp or whatever. That's funny. And in the movies, what happened to them all when they were alone? See, Velma was working at NASA. Fred made a book. Daphne was working on martial arts so she would never have to worry about not being able to protect herself again. And Shaggy and Scooby were just sitting in the van eating all food, which is, there's no surprise there. Yeah, so in the series, there was they found out that there was a team who was solving mysteries similar to them before them, and but a couple other people were evil now, and they all seem to have disappeared. Mr. E, and he would send them notes of or something, and they found one of the people, and then they found two of the mystery solver. They found one of them they were friends with, but they didn't know her, that she was one of them. She was held a radio show or whatever. Then they found the other two who turned out to be Fred's real parents, but they turned out to be evil. And then the owl was kind of like Scooby, you know, the talking animal or whatever. And he was Mystery, I think. No, Mystery was the guy that the radio show host had liked in the past. And who was the owl? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen that show. But, yeah, so at the end they had to do this, like, fight, because there's, like, this big thing going on, and they found out that everything they knew and loved could have been fake. But then, Daphne and Fred insisted that their feelings for each other were real, that their friendships were real, that their love for mystery solving was all real. And then they ended up defeating them. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen this series. I remember the movie a lot better, but that's because I watched it a lot. But at the end, whatever ended up happening changed everything, and no one remembered them mystery solving. Fred, in this reality, they changed realities or something. In this reality, Fred had been raised by his real parents, and his dad didn't like traps. His mom bit out his parents, and his parents ended up actually liking them and wanting them to get together. And Daphne, she was always different from her older sister, so her parents always kind of talked down to her, kind of said, like, why can't you be more like your sisters and this and that. But in this reality, she was like, you show an example to your underachieving sisters. And Daphne was like, what? When did this happen? Yeah, everything changed. And instead of, no, it wasn't called Coolsville, well, Crystal Cove. The movies, the town they lived in was Coolsville, and the series was Crystal Cove. Crystal Cove used to be swarmed by men in, like, mass or whatever, people in mass, and, but now everything's always sunny, and they don't solve mysteries, and yeah, so. But in the Scooby-Doo movies, they fight real monsters, which is also another reason why I really like it. Because they didn't believe monsters exist, they always just fought men in mass. But then in the first movie, they made monsters or something, and the monsters were trying to possess people, I guess is one way to put it. I don't think that's how they put it, but technically that's what they were doing. They were going inside people, taking control, because they can't be out in daylight, which is something they figured out. They combust, explode. But yeah, you know, Daphne was actually the one in the first movie who ended up saving everyone, which is fun. I think that's why they did that, because at the beginning she was always the one that got caught. She never thought of herself as a hero because of it. But in the end, she ended up beating that one guy who beat her earlier, and then she pushed him down, and all the souls went everywhere. So she basically saved everyone, and then she took out the light thing, so all the monsters can explode as well. Second movie, they had fight monsters too, but they were turning the mass of the monsters they had defeated into real monsters. You know, and then they turned the entire town against them, and they had to hide in their old clubhouse they had when they were teenagers, and it even showed a flashback. But yeah. Yeah, and Daphne and Fred were dating in those movies too, you know. They had a kiss at the end of each movie. Daphne was always my favorite character in Scooby. Not just because Sarah Michelle Gellar, but I do love her. But yeah, so I guess that's all I have to say about Scooby-Doo, the movie and series. Movie's my favorite, which I've already mentioned, but I'm going to mention it again because I love the movies. And if you haven't seen the movies, then you really should. I suggest it. You should watch the series too, but watch the movies first because they're better. Okay. So I will see you, well, in a few minutes because I'm going to make another video. Okay.